He bought it for $3 million. 6 months later, he sold it and made $200,000 in profit. This isn't recklessness. This is a system, a financial architecture the wealthy elite have mastered, while you're being told that buying a luxury car is the fastest way to lose money. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to expose the hidden wealth mechanism behind supercar ownership, the loophole that transforms a depreciating liability into a cash-generating asset. I've spent years analyzing the financial strategies of ultra-high net worth individuals. I've seen the private purchase agreements, the shell company structures, the appreciation clauses hidden in exotic car contracts. And if you don't understand this mechanism, you'll continue believing the lie that luxury depreciates. You'll keep your Honda for 10 years, while billionaires rotate through Ferraris and extract wealth from every transaction. This is the game, and you're not playing it. Here's what they taught you. A new car loses 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. In 5 years, it's worth 40% of what you paid. This is true for you, but not for them. Let's start with what you've been programmed to believe. Luxury cars are liabilities, depreciating assets that drain your wealth. Financial advisors will tell you this until they're blue in the face. Never buy a new car. It's the worst investment you can make. And for 99% of people, this is accurate. You walk into a Mercedes dealership. You finance a $100,000 S-Class. The moment you sign, you've lost $20,000. Year 1, down to $75,000. Year 3, $50,000. Year 5, $35,000. You just burned $65,000 on transportation. This is the middle-class wealth trap. You buy status, you lose capital. The system designed it this way, but here's what they don't tell you. There's a category of vehicles that operates outside this depreciation curve. Limited production hypercars, allocation-only supercars, vehicles where demand exceeds supply by astronomical margins. Pagani produces 40 cars per year. Ferrari makes 210 LaFerraris, total, ever. Bugatti built 500 Chirons globally. These aren't cars. These are appreciating assets disguised as vehicles. A Pagani Huayra retailed for $2.3 million in 2012. Today, it sells at auction for $3.8 million. That's a 65% appreciation in 12 years. The S&P 500 returned 180% in the same period. But you can't drive the S&P 500 to dinner. You can't experience it. You can't leverage the social capital. The billionaire who bought that Pagani, he enjoyed it for 6 months, drove it 2,000 miles, then sold it for $400,000 more than he paid. He didn't just drive for free, he was paid to drive. But this is just the surface. The real wealth extraction happens in the structure of the purchase itself. Now here's the question nobody asks. If these cars appreciate, why do billionaires sell them so quickly? Drop a comment if you think you know the answer. Because what I'm about to reveal will restructure how you think about wealth. You can't just buy a LaFerrari. You can't walk into a Ferrari dealership with $5 million and drive out with a limited edition hypercar. Ferrari decides who gets allocation. You need purchase history. You need to have bought 5, maybe 10 Ferraris already. California, 488, F8, Tributo. You need to be in the ecosystem. Ferrari tracks everything. How many cars you've bought, whether you've sold them immediately, whether you're a collector or a flipper. If you flip a limited edition Ferrari before the 2-year holding period, you're blacklisted forever. No more allocations. You're out. This creates artificial scarcity. This is the trap. Ferrari controls the supply, and they use that control to extract maximum value from their wealthiest clients. You want the new SF90XX? You need to buy 3 other Ferraris first. At MSRP, no negotiation. That's $4 million in vehicles just to get access to the one you actually want. This is the cost of entry into the appreciation game. But here's where the system flips. Once you're inside the allocation network, you're not buying cars anymore. You're acquiring tradable assets. That SF90XX you just bought, you paid $600,000. There are 50 people on a wait list willing to pay $900,000. Right now, today. You hold it for 6 months. You satisfy Ferrari's anti-flip clause. Then you sell it privately for $850,000. $250,000 profits in 6 months. Annualized return, 50%. Tax-free if structured correctly through an LLC. And here's the secret. You never actually wanted the car. You wanted the allocation. The car is just the vehicle. literally, for wealth extraction. But the billionaires, they've automated this. They've turned it into a system that generates millions while appearing to simply enjoy luxury. Let me give you a number that will change your perception of what's possible. A McLaren F1 sold for $20 million in 2023. It was purchased for $1 million in 1995. That's a 2,000% return over 28 years. Better than Manhattan real estate, better than Apple stock, better than Bitcoin. And someone drove it for 3 decades. So here's the blueprint the ultra-wealthy actually use. Step 1. Build allocation history. You don't start with a Ferrari. You start with accessible luxury. A Porsche 911 GT3, a McLaren 720S, cars with some collectability but available for purchase. You buy. You hold for 18 months minimum. You sell at or near purchase price. You establish yourself as a collector, not a flipper. Cost? Minimal if you choose correctly. Some limited Porsches actually appreciate during the hold period. Step 2. Enter the allocation network. This is where relationships matter. High-end dealers, private brokers, auction house connections. You're not buying from public inventory anymore. You're getting pre-release access to vehicles before they're announced. Step 3. Deploy capital strategically. A billionaire doesn't buy one hypercar. He buys 5, diversified across brands. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Pagani, McLaren, Bugatti. Each vehicle is held in a separate LLC. Each LLC has its own tax strategy, depreciation schedules, operating expenses. The cars are business assets, marketing tools, client entertainment. Every mile is deductible. Step 4. The rotation system. Every 6 to 12 months, one vehicle is sold, privately, to a vetted buyer in the network. Above market value because the buyer can't access allocation themselves. The profit is reinvested into the next allocation. The system compounds. Step 5. The legacy hold. 1 or 2 vehicles from each generation are never sold. These become the true appreciating assets. The McLaren F1S, the Pagani Zondas, the Ferrari F40S. In 20 years, these will be worth 10 times their purchase price. Minimum. This is generational wealth disguised as a car collection. Here's what you must not do. Attempt this system with financing. The moment you introduce debt, the mathematics collapse. The carrying costs destroy the arbitrage opportunity. This system only works with deployable capital. If you're financing, you're not playing the game. You're subsidizing someone else's. So here's what we've uncovered. The lie. Luxury cars always depreciate. The truth. Limited production hypercars appreciate systematically. The system. Allocation networks create artificial scarcity that the wealthy exploit. The blueprint. Build history. Access allocation. Rotate strategically. Hold legacy assets. This isn't about cars. This is about understanding that every asset class has hidden arbitrage opportunities. The system obscures them. The wealthy exploit them. If you apply this framework, you're no longer consuming luxury. You're weaponizing it. You're extracting wealth while appearing to simply live well. Next week, I'm exposing the private aviation scam that costs the middle class millions while making billionaires richer. The NetJets trap, the fractional ownership lie, and the charter hack that gives you private jet access for the cost of first class. Subscribe to the Wealth Blueprint. Hit the notification bell, because this information isn't taught in business school. It's not shared at country clubs. It's the forbidden knowledge that separates those who work for money from those who make money work. Drop a comment with the word allocation if this shifted your perspective on luxury assets. The game has rules. You just learned them. The question is, will you play?